I'm starting on a rather large project, and so I decided that it's time to upgrade some of my tools. On this particular project, I'm going to be using a table saw and compound miter saw quite a bit. And I've been using my little Craftsman Pro for about 5 years now on my handiwork, and it's served me well. I would highly recommend it, new or used. It's a 10-inch 15 amp. It's a good little saw. But I needed something with a little bit larger work surface, and preferably something with a stand to get it off the floor so that I don't have to either use it on the floor or set up sawhorses or a table or something of that manner to use it. So I upgraded from my Craftsman Pro to this Ridgid setup, and let me tell you, the difference in having something that's that portable, huge difference. This built-in work stand slash dolly that it comes with, I mean, it's just fantastic, nice and solid. If you've been to Home Depot, you've probably seen this on display and wondered if it was any good. Well, it is. It's the same size. It's a 15 amp, 10 inch, so motor wise, blade size, it's the same as my little Craftsman Pro, but man, it just feels so much more powerful. The table and the fence are quite a bit larger. It's just solid, you know, a good solid unit. It's got the extendable table right here. You pull the lever, extends out. The handle on this side works as a rest. If you've got, like if you're running a sheet of plywood through this, it has that rest on the left side. It has the extendable table on the right. The dolly itself, as far as taking it up and putting it down, it's just super simple, easy, but it's sturdy. You know, I mean, when this thing's in place, I've been ripping 2x4s for the last, I don't know, half hour or so. A bunch of 10-footers and then a bunch of 16-footers. Never once did it bog down, hiccup, anything. I mean, it just kept right on ripping. Nice, clean, straight, just really, really nice. And then for my miter saw, I have my Craftsman sliding compound miter. It's a 10-inch blade. Plenty big enough for most of the stuff I do. I might eventually upgrade to the Ridgid 12-inch sliding compound, but I bought the Ridgid stand, and it's a universal stand for miter saws or compound miter saws, sliding or non-sliding rather. It's universal. So what you have are these two brackets that run across the bars, and they just clamp on, clamp off. I mean, nothing major. And whatever saw you have, it bolts to it. Now, the one thing I noticed about my saw is the holes on the back didn't line up, so I had to drill an extra hole. No big deal, it's just cast aluminum anyway, so I drilled an extra hole to line up in the back so that I could have everything nice and solid. But I mean, you know, that thing is just like the table saw stand. It's nice and sturdy. Portability is fantastic. It doesn't take up a lot of room. I mean, when this collapses down, it's no bigger than having a two-wheel dolly in your tool, whether you're a trailer or a garage or whatever. I mean, you have a nice workbench when it's set up. These fences, or these rests on each side, they adjust up and down, they adjust in and out. You got, you know, quite a bit of adjustment, so you've got all that extra work surface if you're cutting long stuff, which, you know, today I'm going to be taking some ends off of these 16-footers and 10-footers that I've been ripping. So you've got that really nice extension on each end, really nice work surface, you know, work height rather. And when you take that thing down and to put it in my case, it'll go back in my trailer, both of them, at the end of the day. They just don't take up a lot of space. I mean, they take up about as much space as a 2-wheel dolly plus the saw. Let me do this one again. It doesn't have the detach option. It's actually bolted to the frame. There's one there, one here on both sides. It's actually bolted down, so you can't just unclamp it like you can this, but you don't need to. The compound miter saw, I could see possibly needing to unclamp that to store the saw in one spot and the dolly in another. But with the table saw, that's really not necessary. It doesn't take up much more room than the saw itself. So anyway, I haven't done a video in a little while, and I thought this would be a good video to do. I'm really happy with both purchases. Costs a little bit of money, you know, but anything decent in the tool world does cost money. You know, might find a deal every once in a while, but as far as going out and purchasing a new tool, if it's worth having, it's probably not going to be cheap. But these, the table saw with the portable stand and everything, $500. You know, I mean, that's not terrible. You can pay that for a good table saw by itself. And it was almost $200 for the stand for the compound miter saw. And again, the great thing about that is if you already have a compound miter saw that's decent, you don't have to purchase a saw. You know, this is just your work surface. It gives you that portability, and use the saw you have until you're ready to upgrade. You can put a DeWalt, you can put a Ridgid, you can put Makita. It literally says universal. Any miter saw that's out there can be mounted to those cross members, which let me get a better shot of those. Get down here, maybe. There we go. It's just a cross member. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it, and it's got a channel cut lengthways, so you can bolt that down, and you can move this forward and backward quite a bit to get the balance however you want. I've got it where I want it right now, but you can see that's nice and solid. You know, I mean, it doesn't move around. I've been throwing boards up here and cutting them off yesterday and today, and the thing just works awesome. I'm really happy with it, you know. And in my business, a tool purchase is a tax write-off, and so these are well worth the money for me, at least. I would highly recommend either one of these setups. If you do handiwork, if you do carpentry, construction, you know, these are both great tools to have. Definitely going to save a lot of wear and tear on my back, and make my work, I think, faster and more productive. Having a nice setup and not having to spend the time, you know, doing this, setting up sawhorses with plywood or a fold-out table or something like that to be able to work off of. You know, these, you wheel them out of the trailer, you pop them up, and they're ready to go. I mean, there's just nothing hard about it. So I hope that's some good information for anybody that's looking into some tool purchases as far as table saw, miter saw setups. Appreciate your views and your likes. Have a good day.